Who's out there?
I ain't gotta listen to nobody. Nobody tells me what to do.
Hold on, let me get back in I was just making some minor adjustments. Nah, you know what? That's people calling me, man. When I do the videos in the daytime, people just keep calling me and calling me, man. Get tired of that. I told you I gotta upgrade all my shit, man. All my stuff, man. Yeah, what was I just saying? Asiatic mathematics got me what was I just saying? What was the question? You asked the question. And go catch me some jump balls today too, man. I'm gonna catch me some exclusive stuff. Oh yeah, now it's like I'm not sure. You know, we individuals and all that. You know what I'm saying, and we stand on our own. But you know, we live in a community. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, you could look at it as just refining somebody else's understanding, but you know, I tell you, you know, something from my own experience. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, when I started having kids, right? That's when I realized that the other people that I was going to school with was kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when I realized the things that I had done, you know, allegedly to other people's kids. You see what I'm saying? Because now I realize, yo, I gotta send my kids out into this atmosphere. You see what I'm saying? Like whatever's rising out there, now my kids is there with that. You see what I'm saying? So you can look at it as, you know, you refining somebody else's understanding. Nah, you building in your community because that's how people exist. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can, you know, go off and live in your own hermit type of life, you understand what I'm saying? Then that, you know, I suppose, you know what I'm saying, your only duty would be to refine the natural elements around you, you know what I'm saying? The trees or the plants or whatever you're gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? But if we're gonna live in these communities that we exist in, right? That's just, you know, that's self-preservation. that if you don't deal with no equality and you live in a group of men or a society of men, then the dissatisfied people is going to take you out. That's pretty well established. That's a pretty well established social law. So, now I wouldn't say it's refining somebody else's understanding. It's refining our understanding as a community of people, the actual ties, how we deal with each other. Because that's what, a lot of that stuff comes down to. Like how I deal with you versus how you deal with me, right? Because I'm from this block versus you from that block over there. I'm from this section versus you from that section. You know what I'm saying? Seven, 93rd. Yeah, I can't catch back up, man. My brain is. Jasim said, I go through periods of wanting to fix all the problems or everybody else's problems, though. Yeah, because you look at it, you know what I'm saying, and it looks simple. But the real, what you gotta remember is the real operative thing in everybody's problems is them. A huge percentage of problems is simple. Like you ever see somebody on drugs, right? And he telling you all these problems, man. Like, yeah, man. And, my wife this and, and these people over here and the neighbors and those people that live in that building over there. No, man, your problem is you smoke crack. Seems simple to me. They don't want to stop smoking crack. That's the operative part of the problem, though. All that other stuff, that stuff be academic. See, that's why this knowledge, that's what I'm saying. The knowledge, it just wakes you up so you can stop being your own problem. And everything we do, everywhere we go, we know people and see people like that. That all you gotta do is get out your own way, man. You just stepping on your own blessings left and right. $793 said, so have to show and prove and display I can handle my own problems created for self, so I can display my qualifications to do so by self, not for self. Yeah. But like I said, man, you know, the biggest impact you're gonna have is from teaching the babies. Like, does anybody know is Asiatic mathematics in here? Joseph said, I try to tell people to learn about themselves before you try to know someone else. People try to tell me they know someone but don't know themselves. Asiatic mathematics probably ain't in here right now. He probably got it. But does anyone in here know what the word kindergarten means? Asiatic mathematics said the reason I mentioned that refining someone else's understanding is because I know I understand a man isn't gonna love someone else's kids as much as their own. That's difficult to say. But Asiatic mathematics, while I'm discussing this, right? Tell the people what the word kindergarten means. But you said you don't understand a man isn't gonna love someone else's kids as much as their own. Now it really depends on the person. You know, in terms of showing love, especially, right? Let's say you take Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, right? Or, you know, any individuals like that who they go out there and they give their life for the community. See, like Martin Luther King could have just stayed at the church, collected his dues, you know, had his deaconesses, you know, drove his Cadillac, and went on and died an old man. You know, he could have said, yo, man, look, I got these young kids at the house, man, my wife, man, I ain't got no time to be down in no Mississippi, Alabama, you know what I'm saying, what I'm doing Tennessee for. I got kids over here at the house, so see, he showed us more love than he showed his kids. And then you also got to look at the fact that, you know, you got a lot of people out here that don't love their kids. So that's a little bit of a complex situation. Although, you know, I know what you mean. I've seen some situations. Josh Sim said people recognize my culture, so things like pork come up in conversation. Now I just try to drop hints. I mean, if people is curious, you could answer their questions, but this is what I'm saying. Like, see, I got my youth boxing class. I'm not gonna start an old person's boxing class. Like, I'm not gonna start a 40 plus boxing class. You know what I'm saying? Now, if somebody 40 plus wants to come add on, then yeah, that's peace. But that's not what I'm going outside. You know, that's not my goal. You know what I'm saying? Like just my peers, my average, especially, you know, maybe that's an aspect of it too. Is that being from New York, like listen, you've heard the signs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not introducing you to the signs today. So I don't really Joseph said kindergarten means nicer greenhouse. "2016 said place fire is lit." See, I knew Asiatic mathematics was gonna know. Kindergarten is German for child's garden. Joseph said, "My brother loves his oldest, but that's not his biological child, and he's still not with the mama." Joseph, I got a brother that's the same exact way. And look, the child stays with him more than he stays with his biological father. So, the significance of why I brought up the kindergarten, right? And that being a German term, right? We're going to go off on a little tangent right now. Germany was one of the last nation states, right, of the Europeans that was formed. Like of Europe, Italy, France, England, Germany, those type of Europe like that. We ain't talking about Hungary and Budapest and Yugoslavia. We talking about the Western European powers. The people that was there at the meeting in 1890 when they was carving up Africa, right? Germany was probably the last of those entities to form a nation state. But within like 20 years of them forming a nation state, they was one of the most powerful entities in Europe, to the point where diplomats came from all around the world to just marvel at how they was able to do this so quickly. And when they asked the dude, when they asked the leader, "Yo, how was you able to do this so quickly?" He said, "Compulsory education." Everybody in Germany had to go to school up to age 16, and they started at kindergarten. See, so the idea, man, that you gotta teach the babies is not, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things people look at because of 5% to say it's in some kind of 5% vacuum. Like everything in reality don't go according to these same laws of mathematics. See, out of my kids, right? I learned what pre-K is really about. 5 years old is too old. By the time you get 5 years old, You got too many ideas formed. You know too much about who you are. Your family has affected you too much. They need to get you in there in pre-K. And I seen the difference where when, my oldest, when my sons was born, right? They didn't have pre-K in New York. Well, it was, but it was like very limited. You had to, get on the waiting list and all of that. Even kindergarten was kind of iffy. You know what I'm saying? And I see the difference from them, right, to my daughters who went to preschool. So even something as simple as, listen, my sons, capitalists. They capitalists. My daughters, yeah, they've been affected by, they socialists. I'm not even saying which one you agree with or disagree with. I'm just saying that, I didn't necessarily grow up with any particular political idea of thinking one politics was over the other one. But the children saw me participating in capitalism. But they was able to get to my daughters a little bit better because they got to them sooner.
It's 2:00.
See, for kids, they give you an education. For children, they just give you rules. I mean, for adults, they just give you rules. What you said, state of the art? Like shock value. If my child acted crazy swift and right, I'm on it. What does that mean? Yeah, my sons, he say, man, I saw folks getting hand in hand commerce with the candies and the oils. Yeah, they they just definitely don't, you could just see that, the atmosphere didn't have as big of an impact on them. Their ideas didn't have as much of an impact on them. Jasim said upstream interventions. If you spark the parents, you spark the child too. No. I mean, I understand that concept. It's a good concept. But what I'm saying is, look, I got the knowledge. My parents don't got it. Like if it's going to have an impact. But I'm saying if it was just that simple, then we should have a whole bunch of kids around here. Not just kids. We should have people from about, 55 down. There should be a whole bunch of people from like 55 down that was born in this, and all of their parents was spark. You know what I'm saying? But just like, I came out of Christianity. So it's not just as simple as that in my mind. Like I've seen people, heard people talking about that. If we go out and we teach all these women, and then they'll have, their kids will be affected by this knowledge. No, it just don't work like that. If it worked like that, right, why so many kids failing? Why so many kids fail in school and their mom's been on all this education? See, because that's what I be telling you, you gotta have the knowledge and wisdom and maybe even understanding, right? But what about the culture? What about the power, the equality? Who's God? See, all these things still count. So just because, you teach them, and then sometimes it'll work the opposite way. Where, a brother, he'll go and deal with the wisdom, right? The wisdom don't get the knowledge, but her kids keep it. I seen that happen plenty of times. Yeah. Yo, what's going on, like?
You up upstairs?
Yeah. They all still down there?
Huh?
They all still down there?
Mm-hmm.
Shakim got there yet? Yeah, we supposed to be waiting on Shakim. That's it.
That shit, man.
Good shit.
Huh?
Good shit.
Wait, some soda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in general, nah, I wouldn't agree with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, one only learns what one's teach itself. Or look, we have a lot of guests. We have a lot of guests here in the room. But we got a lot of brothers in the room. Right? A lot of people that no matter what time you grew up in, you probably grew up a lot like me, right? Now look, how many people you got family like my family, right? Well, look, you got some people work for the government. Some people was in jail the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I got a brother that never can stay out of jail, man. Got another brother work for the city. You see what I'm saying? So, and look, same family, same, you know what I'm saying? It's not like one brother stayed in another part of town over there with another. Nah, we all right here having the same influences. We get the same amount of clothes for back to school, but we all just react different. Yourself said in '09, I used to sell water by Yankee Stadium on game days in the highway. I used to have my 8-year-old son sit on the cooler while I hustled on the highway. Yeah, see? Now look, every time you went and got him that pizza or whatever y'all got, after y'all left, that reinforced that idea. You see what I'm saying? And see, just, him being with you and you keeping him like that, I don't doubt. See, not everybody's doing that. You see what I'm saying? So even after a lot of people, once they send the kid to school, that's it. they go, you know, they've been waiting on this for years. In 2016, so they see the socks go out and the current come in. $793 said Big Biz in middle school with my old earth worked as a school nurse. They made sure no vending machines in the early 80s. By high school, cash and learning benefited from grassroots getting it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially they got some kids that be coming over here from Jersey selling that candy from the 80s. FDA, what's FDA? Frederick Douglass Academy? Yeah, man. But yo, I don't know if y'all heard, man, that we had some tragic events, which actually was one of the things that made me start talking about what our responsibility is out here, man, in this community, man. But you know, I was in Philly, man. A young guy got returned to the essence out there. So I went out there to his memorial yesterday, and now today I'm going to another memorial. Another young guy. Both born in the nation. So, you know, that's extra tragic right there. But yeah, I'm about to get on the road and start heading over there. You know what I mean? We might be a little bit late today. We might be a little bit late. But I gotta get out there for 4 o'clock. But there will be a class tonight. There will be another video. If anything, check me out on Instagram. I might go live on Instagram and check out the Patreon link too. Right now, I just got one of the civilization classes on there, but I'm gonna be putting some content on there. So check out the Patreon page. Follow me over there too, and I'll see y'all tonight. Class should be like 7:30 tonight. My ambition, what's the deal? All my links is in the description box. The Allah's fruit is gonna be the page I'm gonna go live on Instagram later on. And then tonight I'll be back on this page. There's some good guys downstairs right now too, where I might be able to get some exceptional footage. Y'all know what happens when I you know. So I'm gonna see if I get some exceptional footage. If I get some exceptional footage though, that's going on the Patreon. I gotta start spreading it around. But peace everybody. I catch up.